Mr. Saktiandi Support.
Mr. Speaker, the government has implemented incentives such as the Commercial Vehicle Emission Scheme and Early Turnover Scheme to encourage e-LGV purchases, including purchases by vehicle rental companies. The adoption of e-LGVs in Singapore has grown significantly from 0.4% of new LGV registrations in 2020 to around 28% in this year to date. This is the highest among all vehicle categories, and we will continue to monitor and review the efficacy of and the need for any additional incentives.
Mr. Saktiandi Support.
Thank the Minister for his answer. I got two SQs, Minister. First is whether there are any specific sectors you are targeting for the EV transition for both motor vehicles as well as motorcycles. Second is in regards to EV motorcycles. Just yesterday I had a resident who is an SME owner and trying to sell electric motorcycles in Singapore. He has concerns about ability to rent out his motorcycles to commercial use or even private use going forward. And my question is whether Minister can share a bit of light into which agencies would be appropriate to help such approaches in terms of renting electric motorcycles in Singapore going forward. Thanks, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the member for his questions. Do we target specific sectors? The answer is no, but with an important qualifier. Basically, because when you make a transition from ICE to electric, there is a general benefit to the overall ecosystem in terms of emissions reduction. However, of course, in certain sectors where the utilization of the vehicles may be more intensive, if the conversion can take place earlier and to a greater extent, then the beneficial outcomes will also be similarly enhanced. So from that point of view, for example, we are seeing moves in the taxis, also in the bus fleet. We have announced that 50% of our bus fleet will be fully electric by the end of the decade, and so on, because these are where there are emissions that might be more intensive because of the usage pattern. In addition, I would say it's also a function of technology because, for example, in the realm of very heavy vehicles, the adoption and usage has been varied when it comes to electrification. In fact, other solutions like hydrogen appear to be gathering momentum. So we'll have to wait and see. But the broad answer would be that we are not targeting specific sectors, rather we are focused on just promoting the general adoption and transition to electric vehicles and eventually to other cleaner energy forms. On the second point on EV motorcycles, first I must point out that today plug-in solutions already exist. There are motorcycles that can use plug-in recharging and so on, and that already is there. But this is generally tends to be in the higher CC type of, a higher power output type of motorbikes. For the broad mass, at the moment there are different models. Battery swapping is one solution that is being promoted. And the challenge with these sorts of solutions is the safety consideration, because we want to ensure that if batteries can in fact be removed from a vehicle and taken to whichever premise, including residential premise, then the attendant risks, including fire hazards, increase as well. And so we want to be very careful about this. So what we have done is really commenced some trials with partners. So for example, It brings together the supplier of the motorcycle, the supplier of the charging solution, the user of such motorcycles like a delivery company and so on. And we have 2 such trials taking place. And on the specific point raised by the member, the agency that is coordinating this effort is the Land Transport Authority, and if there's a specific query, I'd be very happy to ask the Land Transport Authority to follow up.